أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ومولانا محمد المصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم مد يا سيدي يا رسول الكريم يا حبيب العظيم انظر حالنا وإشارنا وعبيدنا بمددكم ونظركم مدد يا سيدي يا سلطان الأولياء ما شيخ عبد الفايز الداغستاني مدد يا سيدي يا سلطان الأولياء ما شيخ محمد نازم حقاني مدد يا سيدي يا سلطان قلوبنا مولانا الشيخ هشام قباني مدد الحق يا حجة الله المخلص وأنا عبدك العجيز الضعيف المسكين الظالم الجهل. If not for the grace of Allah that we cease to exist, that asking to enter the oceans of rahmah and mercy in this holy month of forgiveness, in the holy month of Muharram, no haram, and that Allah opened for us abab at-tawbah, the gates of repentance, and that to be in the hands of awliyaullah who are the caretakers of the gate, that in every amal whatever we're trying to do and succeed, that they come into our lives and remind that be in the hands of those who are the gatekeepers. There is a door in which to enter that city, and that Prophet advised that come to the door, and every house has a door and a correct entrance to enter, and enter the house, enter the reality through its door. And there are the keepers of the door, the people of the bab, and there are the people of hub and love, with love and ishq of Sayyidina Muhammad, love of Allah Most High. That love manifests in the love of what Allah loves, and Allah's greatest love is for Sayyidina Muhammad, and they begin to manifest that love, and they begin to teach that there are different types of teachings, and there are so many scholars and teachers and da'is and people who are giving da'wah, and most are from the head, and what they teach is from their head. What they understood from their head and what they convey through their head, and very little of it has effect on other people, if at all any effect upon themselves. Means you can read as much as you want and memorize as much as you want, but if not in the hands, because everything is connected, if not in the hands of Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Ati Allah, Ati Rasul wa Ulul Amri minkum. Obedience to Allah is most high, maqam al-ihsan. So maqam al-ihsan, because every hadith will explain this reality, and that obedience to Allah is only in the hand of Sayyidina Muhammad. All the Rasools, all the messengers on the Isra had to take the hand of Prophet. Why the Isra before the Miraj? Prophet could have gone directly for the Miraj. The Isra was that the Prophets and messengers were in need to take the hand of Sayyidina Muhammad to complete their deen. In the deen Allahul Islam, Allah's religion is Islam, is submission. It's Prophet the only prophecy of Allah in the hand of Sayyidina Muhammad. Everybody an agent within the agency of Prophet. So Isra was the completion of their faith. They took their bayat, they made the salah behind the Imam, behind the Salat al-Muhammadiyya, and reached to their realities. Means then iman is in the hand of Sayyidina Muhammad. Maqam al-ihsan with Allah to reach towards what Allah wants the servant to reach, and the only door of faith is through the heart of Prophet which is maqam al-iman. And what Allah then wants for humanity, come to Islam. There are the Ulul Amr that are always alive on this earth, and these Ulul Amr they will train you, perfect you and bring you through the correct door. That's why Allah says, obey them. Obedience to me is obedience to Sayyidina Muhammad. Obedience to Sayyidina Muhammad is obedient to Ulul Amr, the Amr. They carry alif, they carry the meme of Sayyidina Muhammad and they are the Ra and they are the Arbab, they are Rabbaniyun. Allah says in Qur'an, be Rabbaniyun, where you learn the kitab and you taught the kitab. Means your whole life is the pursuit of knowledge. If you come to their door, you're going to enter in the correct reality. They're going to dress you from the reality of Islam. They're going to dress you and present you to the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad. With your arwah, with your soul, you enter into the presence of Prophet's arwah, and to be dressed from the lights of iman. Where Prophet described, you have to love me more than you love yourself. And only from the maqam al-iman, where you're in the light and you're in the presence of Prophet. That's why all these nasheeds, all these praisings and qasidas, all of them are teaching. These are the praisings of pious people who through their reality they reached, and they're writing the reality and making it a nasheed, a qasida for us to recite, because you may not know it now, but recite it, be dressing, because you're going to be asking that which you knew not. Most people ask, Ya Rabbi, just okay, can I have some cash? Okay, Ya Rabbi, give me cash, give me some rizq to be good. But they don't know what to ask. When you recite these are from the words of awliya. They're talking about being in that light, they're talking about there's no existence but the existence of Sayyidina Muhammad. There's no beauty, there's no fragrance but the lights of Prophet. By reciting, you are making du'as that you didn't know existed. And these du'as Allah is asking, ask and you receive. Not only asking for dunya, they said they went before a king, a very powerful king, and everybody's lined up for prayers, and one comes in front of the king and said, can I have some hay? The king said, what? I can give you everything. Can I have hay for my donkey? I need hay for my donkey. He said, you came into the presence of my majesty and you asked for hay? Get him out of here. We're coming to Allah's presence and asking for what? And most are asking like that. Someone came to Mawlana, Shaykh said, Mawlana, can I please have gas? I'm praying for gas. And Mawlana said, what? He said, pray for more gas. Pray for more gas. I have a gas station, Mawlana. He said, good you clarified that, otherwise you would have had difficulty in that du'a. What are you asking these kind of ridiculous things? That's what people know what to ask. By reciting these nasheeds and these qasidas, we're asking for things we never understood to ask, nor would it occur to the aql and the mind. But these are the people of marifah and the people of the heart. It's through their ishq and through their love. Only that way begins the way of the heart. Means then those who teach from their heart are different than those who teach from their mind. They teach from the mind but they yet not have tasted. Then they come to the hadith in which Prophet is describing that you come to Allah with voluntary worship. So there are servants who understood. So there are people who are studying the 40 hadiths, and many times they have so many thousands of videos on the 40 hadiths Imam Nawawi, and all of them take the Arabic and say the English, and you've heard it. But they're not teaching what each of those hadiths, what the door of that hadith, what is the reality of these hadiths. And these are for the people of the bab, these are the people of the heart, and they are the walking hadiths of Sayyidina Muhammad. Well, Allah described, come to me with voluntary worship. I'll be your hearing, I'll be your seeing, I'll be the breath in which you breathe, I'll be the tongue in which you speak, I'll be the hands in which you touch. Yadullah, tabarakalladhi biyadihi mulk. Allah described them in Surah Al-Mulk, because these servants they have the mulk of Allah in their hands. Ahli Yasin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the people of the qurb and the heart, Allah gives His subhan to their hands. Subhanalladhi biyadihim. Glory be to the hand that controls malakut. So they have mulk and malakut, kulli shay, and everything is in that reality that their hands contain. Means these realities from the hadith of Prophet they are not words that Prophet conveyed ﷺ and left. But there should be servants that are walking realities of hadith. As Prophet was walking Holy Qur'an. When they say walking Holy Qur'an, awliyaullah come into your life and teach. No, when Sayyidina Aisha Qaddasallahu Sirruh said that Prophet is walking Qur'an, he is literally walking Qur'an, not figuratively, is walking Qur'an. Qaf wal Qur'an al Majid, Prophet's heart is the location of the emanation of Holy Qur'an. The surah, when you say surah, means a face. Whose face? Allah making reference to the surah is the face of Prophet. Every surah of Holy Qur'an is the face of Sayyidina Muhammad. Ayatun min ayatullah, the sign and the greatest sign of Allah is Sayyidina Muhammad. If you want to understand the ayah, it's represented by Sayyidina Muhammad. You want to know the surah, its face is the face of Sayyidina Muhammad. Many realities and everything from holy hadith is a tremendous opening and tremendous ocean. So then they come and say, from this hadith that I'll be your speaking, in which you speak means you'll be talking upon the ancient tongue of Allah, lisan al-haqq Sayyidina Muhammad wa lisan al-Siddiq, that they're inheriting from what Prophet giving as an inheritance to pious people. I'll be the hands in which you touch means every mulk will be in your hands and every power be in your hands, and I'll be the foot in which you walk means your qadam and your walk will be in the way of Allah. When they say, don't follow qadam, they're incorrect. Everything is qadam, everything is qadam. Because Sahabi were looking exactly where Prophet tariqah is built on nazar bar qadam. Keep your eyes upon your feet, that your eyes are your desire and your hawa. Make sure your desires are watching your feet and say, Ya Rabbi, don't let these feet take me dancing, let these feet to go to your zikr, to your mahfil, to be in the way, in your way Allah, to be in service to Sayyidina Muhammad. So then they become qadam as-Siddiq, they inherit. Sahabi were walking and seeing where Prophet had stepped. Every step that Sayyidina Muhammad makes is a light and never goes away. And what the shaitans did? They took the dirt and they put Italian marble. They took away the lights of Prophet. That was the destruction of Medina. Before, when they walk they see the light of Prophet everywhere. Wherever Sayyidina Muhammad was walking was lights that dressing the soil, dressing everywhere. So that all the hadith that the companions when they would walk around the rock and keep going. They asked, why did you just go around? Because this is the way Sayyidina Muhammad went. Not only that, their firasa, their vision, they were seeing the lights of Prophet and walking within those lights to be dressed by the holy qadam of Sayyidina Muhammad. All of that then they wanted to cover it and put marble and they think they did you a favour. But they tried to cover all those realities of Prophet. That was the destruction of Madinatul Munawwarah. So these are the times of Dajjal. Means then these servants they inherit that holy hadith. So they are walking, hearing from Allah's hearing, seeing from Allah's seeing, speaking from Allah's Divinely qudra, hands supported by Allah, their feet supported by Allah. So much so they are Rabbaniyun and they merely ask and become kun fayakun. That type of servant is different than a servant who talks from his head. Someone who understood, read, memorized and goes and talks to people may not necessarily be practicing what they're talking about. They read it, they convey it to you and they go. But one whom Allah tested and they went through all their testing, they went through all the different difficulties of following the way that Prophet wanted them to follow, means they become certified. When they become certified, mean they've been crushed. When they've been crushed, their body reality has been crushed and they operate from their soul's reality. Those are then awliyaullah. When they speak, they're going to dress you from these sifats that Allah dressing, what described in the hadith. They're going to dress you from a divine hearing. Every time you hear their speech, it has a frequency and an energy that begin to open your sifat of hearing. Because our way is samina wa atana, we heard and we obeyed. But you have to meet one of those who carry that reality. Because the one talking from the head and memorize from the head is not of that, not that reality. The one whom Allah describing from the holy hadith that they came through voluntary worship means that they are the ahlul muhammad. They understood all the secrets of muhammad. And these ahlul muhammad that when they teach, they dress you from their soul. They are directly sending an energy upon your heart and upon your soul, and they dress and raise the darajat of your soul. And through their eyes they dress you, through your eyes, through their speech they dress your ears to reach towards samina wa atana. Even from a distance, if you watch, things begin to change. Everything you're hearing, you begin to heat up, you begin to feel an energy, you begin to feel a change within your hearing, a change within your seeing, a change within the energy of your being. Because Allah gave that authority and they begin to dress whom Allah want them to dress. Those then they are the walking hadith of Sayyidina Muhammad. Because we leave walking Qur'an for azimat al-Nabi. But it's reality to understand, and the walking hadith of Prophet then are these ulul amr, the real ulul amr, that they carry izzatullah. The alif is izzatullah. They have izzatullah in their hand, they carry izzat al-Rasul in their heart, and as a result they are Rabbaniyun. And they carry the order of Allah, and Allah described them in Surah Al-Yasin that they have the amr and the irada. And these are the people of kun fayakun, that they have tremendous gifts from Allah, that what Allah dressed upon them. If they teach you, then they teach you from its realities. And our life is about seeking out those types of people. Not the one teaching from the head, alhamdulillah that's entertaining, but the one able to teach you from your heart, teach you from their heart to your heart is affecting you, is changing you. Maybe you don't feel it at first, you're a wet log. A wet log doesn't feel the fire, it just, hey, it's kind of interesting, nice food there. But when the energy begin to come and begin to come and begin to come, you begin to feel the heat, you begin to feel the anger and all the character. Why? Because this fire is burning. Every sobat is a fire, every sobat is a fire coming onto the soul, and like a torch upon gold. Means that you have to burn the gold to bring all the najas and all the impurity out. Otherwise they don't want the servant to go into the qabr with that difficulty. Means every energy Allah giving from every talk and every nazar, everything you eat and drink is going to be sending an energy upon the servant in which they begin to feel heated, they begin to feel aggravated, they begin to feel all sorts of emotions, because these are the qudras that are dressing upon them. Then they begin to teach you. That when the first hadith of Imam Nahwi is qulun amalun bin niyat, and they just translate it into English, what the reality of that hadith that Prophet wanted for us, one of its realities. That only Allah are like lawyers in a court. When they read the first hadith and says, Kullun amalun bin niyat, that immediately they understood that Prophet's warning, don't come with your amal, and pray, constantly pray that Allah never to judge you. Don't ask to go through the door of judgment. What we talked last night, it's like somebody crazy asking for audit. Say, Ya Rabbi, audit me, come on audit me, audit me now tonight. You'll be dead, you'll be burned. If Allah want to sit the servant down and audit them, because He's teaching every amal bin niyat. That's why the hadith, the voluntary, who comes to me with voluntary, means don't put your effort on only amal and fard, because Allah clarifying these amal, your prayers, your fasting, your shahada, your zakah, and even your hajj. Now hajj most, because hajj is a tourist package. You spend $15,000 and go to the top tower and fly in first class. I don't know how much of that is for Allah. Air conditioned bus, beautiful tents, Coca-Cola, they even bring Coca-Cola into your tent. Kullu amalun binniyat means then this amal has to be in a court of law, Allah has to judge its intention. So if we're going to go through the door of amal, there's going to be a big court and Allah going to bring every intention of every amal. Ya Rabbi, He gave a big amount, let's check his intention. Maybe it was to be seen or to be known by people. That action will then be voided and put aside. Then they look at something, Ya Rabbi, they prayed a lot and prayed really long, because you have a wakil, you have an attorney, prayed really long. In Allah's court of justice, he prayed long and everybody saw him pray long? Yes, he wanted to be known by people. Throw his amal out, I'm not counting his salah. Every action Allah is going to come. So even whatever you did for me of your salah and your praying wasn't worth the eyesight I gave you, wasn't worth the breath I gave you, 24,000 breaths in a day. So what Prophet was telling Sayyidina Aisha, don't pray Allah doesn't judge you, don't go through the door of judgment. So they understood that hadith was a warning from Prophet. Every amal is going to have a judgment. Don't count on that amal, you do your fard because Allah ordered it. But look for the amal that's based on love, there's no judgment, it's muhabbat. What Allah is going to judge from sunnah prayers? What are you going to judge? The fard has to be judged. What was the intention? You prayed to be seen by people, because if you live in a Muslim country everybody has to pray, they shut all the business, everybody line up, you don't line up they smack you with a stick. What's the love in salah? Is the sunnah. When everybody left and said, where did everybody go so quick? When we went for certain countries, they prayed the azan, the fard finishes, empty, the masjid is empty. Who's praying the sunnah? The only who? The lovers, because they're doing it for love anyways. The fard was mandatory, everybody left on the mandatory. Who sits and does the sunnah is the act of love. Means then everything you do from the sunnah Prophet is an act of love. That is what they base their whole life from that hadith. Ya Rabbi, I'm not going through the doors of intention and I'm looking for that, I'm looking for your doors of muhabbat. I want to go sit in the mahfil because it's not fard. This is only because of love. I want to show my love for you and praise you day and night, Ya Rabbi. I'm looking and searching for your mahfils and your zikr. That can be judged? Can Allah says, no, you were wrong, you were not supposed to come every night, you weren't supposed to come Friday night. Impossible. Means love can never be judged. Ya Rabbi, for the sake of your love, for the love of Sayyidina Muhammad I brought some rice to the mahfil, I brought some water to the mahfil. I go out and feed people for your love, Ya Rabbi, for the love of Sayyidina Muhammad. Means these doors of muhabbat open every reality. That opens the secret of the second hadith about Islam, iman wal ihsan. That was what they were teaching. The maqam al-ihsan is to obey Allah, maqam al-iman is to love Sayyidina Muhammad, maqam al-islam For your Islam to be real, you must be in the hands of Ulul Amr, so that you're coming through the bab and the door, and that they're dressing with the correct understanding, correct realities, dressing your soul, your heart and your entire being, not just entertaining your head. Because the other one who are not Ulul Amr. So if you sit in an association where there's not an Ulul Amr, what are you doing? You're entertaining your head, because they keep repeating the same hadith but they didn't explain it. They didn't describe its reality, nor were they capable of dressing the servant from its reality. Because those of mohammad, Allah said, kun fayakun, they're going to dress you with all of these sifat. They dress it upon your soul, they dress you, bless you and present you to the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad. We pray that Allah always keep us in the company of Ulul Amr, the real Ulul Amr, and that alhamdulillah under their flags and under their feet, that not for ourselves only but our children and our children to come all the way to the Day of Judgment inshaAllah. Bi hurmati Muhammad al-Mustafa wa bisir Surat al-Fatiha.
Sidana Nabi, Sidana Nabi, Sidana Nabi, Sidana Nabi.